guys, how's it going? So today we're going to do an updated walkthrough of the shop, kind of look at my horns and what I've got in new and what I've sold. Sold off quite a few things just to make room for some of these ship horns I'm getting in, and then also have some other horns that are on order right now that y'all don't know about, but we'll get to those in the future. So anyway, I've sold off quite a few horns. I do still have quite a few, and then I have some new stuff too y'all haven't seen. So we'll just check it out and see what we got. Alright guys, to start out, as I said, I've made quite a few changes to the shop and the horns. Right here, I've got two of my Kahlenberg S203s. So both of the same horn. I do have extensions on them. So power chamber, this part is an extension, bolts on right there. That starts the actual horn. So with these extensions, I can change the pitch and play around with those. So that's what those are. Those are just S203 ship horns. Those are actually no longer made by Kahlenberg. Down here, just some other random stuff, RS3L, bell. And then of course on this shelf here, that's a D2. Still need to get around to touching that. A couple PVC horns. I think one of those is an M5 tuned horn. The other's a K5LA. Now I do have a new compressor in the shop. Recently got this. Much better, much better having some air. Much more usable air. That other compressor just wasn't doing it. So I've got an MBTA horn there. We've got that's an 80s transition era, like 89, 1990 CSX K5LA. Then we've got an old cast P5. Y'all seen these before. Old cast P3. Actually, that's a P0, 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry. So that's got a P0 bell on it, all old cast. That's the P3. This is a new cast, P0, 1, 2, 3, 5. That does have an old cast P0 on it. Then just a 90s CSX K5LA. That's an 80s running an R45. Let's see, down here we've got, I think that's a 90s K5LA, CSX, RSU3L. Then we have a King 6 or an RC6, whichever you want to call them. I guess Horn Blasters kind of gave them the King 6 name. Their real name is RC6, which is USA Trading Horns. Of course, we got the Kahlenberg Q4. There's a big manifold that I built for some of my KM horns. You'll see here in just a minute. Let's see, just some odd and ends. A125. That's an AE125 right there with the open back. A75. A couple Buell bells. Let's see, down here we have got, that is a aluminum tabby S2A. Then dual trumpet Buell. That's a Buell quadruplex right there. That is a newer, I think like a late 2022 K5LA. And let's see, down here, that is my late 40s E2B3. That's an MKT horn. Then we have another E2B3. That one's just painted. That one actually sounds really good. And of course, it's all bells forward. That E44 is forward, whereas on the MKT one, the E44 is pointed in reverse. That is an 80s K5L, 80s wide font horn. It actually has a Hyson big bore number 5 on it. So that's kind of cool. And then up here, we've got the Kahlenberg D3 with a light. Got a Buell B5, couple parts, K3 over there, or K3H. I think it's an 80s horn. Then, of course, we've got the, what is that, AA2 Wapco. Then a S2M bronze tabby. This will be an S2B, I think. S2D. I'll put it up on the screen. I can't remember what that is. Parts. More parts down there. Then we've got a lift that I bought, like a shop crane. I guess it's really meant for like lifting engines, but in my case it lifts horns. Let's see, we've got a M5, it's a scallop base. Got a welded S3L 53, that's a nice horn. Then we've got right here the S5D, then the S5A right there. Here we've got another This is a 1960. That's a Conrail S3L. I think y'all seen that. Here's another horn y'all haven't seen. That's a 60s aluminum tabby SU3L. Then we've got a round base M3, scallop base M3 RT1, and then of course the PVC P5 that y'all have seen. Y'all will be seeing more of that. Under here we've got the S3BJ, then another early 50s bronze tabby S3L, S3K 2-piece 31. We have another aluminum tabby SU3L. That's an X Seaboard horn. Then we have a aluminum tabby S5T. I'll just point at those real quick. That's a Wabco E2, a no-name horn, came from India. Then the aluminum A200. Then we have under here a Domeback SU3L. And then the Prime 920 and the Prime 990. And then we got a blue RS3L under there. And we've got a, what's that, the Rock Island K5LA. Pretty cool horn. So, also, I've made an addition to the stand. We've got lights and a roof so I could fit more stuff. There's the Chicago Northwestern A200 and 125 matching pair. I actually finally figured out what engine those came off of, and both of them had the front foot. Of course, the 125 is missing the top bracket, which is unfortunate. Let's see, up here we've got a CSX RS5T right there, Buell triplex, storage for some of my ship horn hoses. There is an KM250. There's another KM250. I think that's the HMS Richmond is what that came off of. The other 250 came off the HMS Glasgow. Those are British Royal Navy horns. Couple bells. Let's see, the black is the bronze. The yellow bell is a steel bell. Kahlenberg T3. MBTA K5LA, it's an 80s horn. Of course, we got the Hancock 4700. Now, here's some of the bigger ship horns that I've gotten recently. This one is a KM110. This one is a KM85. This is a KM110. This is off of the Algoma Enterprise, or Canadian Enterprise is what it used to be known as. And then we have a Ibuki, was it A150E, I think is what that is. So then down here we've got the Kahlenberg F3. Really excited to have that. Sitting next to the Kahlenberg T3, or sorry, T4. So that's kind of the shop update, guys. A few less horns than what I normally have, but I've sold off a few things to afford some of these larger ship horns, and I do have some other ship horns that are not here at the moment. I think I left out this P5 right here. That's just a new cast P5, and then a couple single RS horns. I think it's an RS, that's an S25. But that's it, guys. So I'll give y'all another update here in about a year. I'm kind of moving towards more ship horns. I am pretty avidly looking for a Kahlenberg Q4. So that's going to be this horn plus an extra bell. It's going to be a size 4 with 4 trumpets instead of 3. Looking at a KDT 123 also. Might possibly buy one of those, not sure yet. But kind of transitioning into the ship horns a little bit more. Still going to keep my train horns, of course. But, you know, I'm kind of trying just to keep some of my favorites where I can get some of these big ship horns because they're just crazy to experience. But anyway, I appreciate it, guys. We'll see you on the next one.